STIHL Timbersports, Australia's fourth and final qualifying ground, is located in New South Wales, not a far cry out from the city of Sydney. STIHL Timbersports veteran Dale Ryan knows what it takes to win.
It's just not like regular wood chopping here in Australia. Yeah, we've got good choppers, but you've got three other sawing disciplines, which you've got to learn, and it takes a lot of doing.
In 1870, what started as a £25 bet between two Australian tree fellers in Ulverston, Tasmania, created the original extreme sport. Flash forward to 1985 in the US, STIHL created Timbersports, which in 2015 landed on Australian shores. This six-discipline, no-hold-barred racing format held on a single day of grueling competition, tests, breaks and bruises egos. Yet with a chance of Australian representative jerseys at stake and a shot at taking on the best from around the globe in the STIHL Timbersports World Championships, axes will fly and chainsaws will scream as the men of STIHL Timbersports Australia battle their way to the top of the field and cut their place into the history books of STIHL Timbersports.
Here are New South Wales' top six axemen and sawyers. Dale Ryan, a master with a stock saw, and Michael Shadlow is quick on the springboard. Chris Owen is known to cut a strong standing block. Steely Graham Love could possibly be the dark horse of the pack. Rounding out the field is Justin Beckett and Australia's most decorated athlete, Brad De Losa, who boasts no less than 5 STIHL Timbersport world titles. Here's what they're playing for. 6 athletes battle in 6 disciplines. The top time is awarded 6 points, last place 1, and 0 for a DQ, with first and second into the Australian final. First up, the springboard.
The springboard imitates an old lumberjack technique to overcome hardwood wood. The athletes cut 2 pockets in a vertical log 2.7 metres high. With the help of the springboard, they climb to the top and cut through a 27 centimetre diameter log from both sides. Strength, speed and agility are needed to win.
Let's pick it up in Heat 2 with Michael Shadlow, who sets the time to beat of 1 minute 13.40. Heat 3, and it's Dale Ryan squaring off with Brad De Losa. This one should be one of the fastest heats of the day.
3, 2, 1, go!
And they're often cutting as their axes hit the wood at the same time. They're looking for a 4-hit bottom pocket, and that's 2 great cuts. They're going for the second, which will be around a 6-hit pocket. And Delosa cutting 3, 4. Yes, there it is. There's the board loaded, and he's up onto the top. It looks like Ryan has gone for a 6-hit pocket, which is much safer for the big man to attack from. Delosa's board is sagging. That 4-hit second pocket was a risk. Ryan on the left is cutting with such power and precision. The sagging in Brad Delosa's board now seems to be causing him to cut with some caution. He's got no power coming from his body. It's all in his arms. He's going to struggle to beat Ryan from here. They won't beat Dale Beams' Australian record of 50.41, but they should beat the fastest time of the day. Brad De Losa now moving onto the backside, and he's going for the switch hit, but Ryan, who'll go for the slice, has done all the work on his preferred side. He's only going to need 3 to 4 hits potentially here to finish off. Going for the drive now, Dale Ryan, 1 minute 01.43.
Mate, it was a beautiful cut. You got up there second, but you held your cool, and you put a great big front in there.
Yeah, that's the secret of these, getting a good front end, but it actually needed a bit more. That wood was quite strong, but it's all in your boarding, getting them in the right setting. Somehow I got too close to me. I didn't get where my marks were.
I put a little bit of a sneaky hole in the top there. Probably should have went for a little bit more reliability, but I only put 4 hits in. I probably should have went for 6, and it was would have been a lot more secure, but it sagged a little bit on me, which made it very hard for me to cut from the top board.
And there's our official times, with Dale Ryan setting the pace and taking the 6 points. Delosa secures 5, Shadlow 4. Ryan tops the Volkswagen Amarok leaderboard, but it's all still to play for with 5 more rounds to go. More action to come as our athletes go swing for swing in the standing block.
STIHL Timbersports, presented by Volkswagen Amarok. Tough comes from within. And STIHL, better garden power tools.
Welcome back. Chips are about to fly in the standing block.
For the standing block, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertical log with a diameter of 30 centimetres has to be cut through from both sides. This discipline calls for both power and precision.
We'll pick up the action in Heat 2, Dale Ryan versus Chris Owen with a time to beat of 27.84 set by Graham Love. And it looks like Ryan gets to the wood first. Good start by both the gentlemen here. Owen sticks a little bit, but quickly gets into a really good rhythm. Chips are flying all over the place. Oh no, it looks like Owen has slipped on the chips there. As they move onto the backside, Dale Ryan, Chris Owen going at it, looking to set up a big drive. Is it Ryan? Is it Owen? It's Ryan, 24-24. Big drives by Ryan and gets the win.
When I went to turn, I actually slipped on a chip and then slipped onto another chip, which cost me a couple of seconds, which probably would have put me right up there in the first place.
Heat 3, it's Brad De Losa and Justin Beckett.
Contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Great start by both axemen there. De Losa looking to open up his block with some real power, but he may have missed his markers though. Justin Beckett putting in some good hits early in that front side. It's De Losa who turns first with 10 hits. Beckett closely behind. De Losa's going to look to set up his drives nice and early. He's put a lot of power in that front side. He's going for his drives. This is going to be a really good time by Brad De Losa, 24.07.
You make any sort of mistakes in this format, it really makes it hard to catch back up, you know. So, yeah, so it's just a matter of consistency, just doing every event consistent. And, you know, if you just sort of sniff around first, second or third in each event, you'll be pretty right to go through to the finals.
De Losa knows what it takes to win and picks up the 6 points. Ryan takes 5 and Owen 4. De Losa and Ryan are tied for first on the Volkswagen Amarok leaderboard. Next up, it's hands on the wood for the stock saw.
In the stock saw, athletes use the new MS661 CM Magnum chainsaw, available at any STIHL store. Athletes must cut 2 discs called cookies from a 40 centimetre diameter log within a 10 centimetre mark. Top competitors make 2 cuts in less than 10 seconds with the all-new STIHL MS661 CM Magnum.
Here we go, Heat 1 of the stock saw, Michael Shadlow and Graham Love. Hands are on the wood. That's a good start by both the fellas. Let's see who drops the first cookie. Looks like Love has made a bit of a mess on his upcut. That could cost him some time. Love is somehow going to take the win though. He does, 13.17. Has he got 2 complete discs?
Stand 1, cut was good. On stand 2, a DQ.
You can see Love went for a quick change. He missed it and didn't get enough wood with the second attempt. Incomplete cookie and a ticket to DQ City. Final heat, Brad De Losa and Chris Owen. Owen's been training with De Losa ahead of the qualifier. Lightning fast start by both athletes. De Losa looking good on the downward cut. Cookies drop at the same time. Here comes the upcut. De Losa, Owen, De Losa, it's close. Owen gets the win. The pupil becomes the teacher.
Both cuts are good.
Let's take another look at it. Both hands are on the wood and it's a pretty even start. 2 cracking changes. There's not much in it, but Chris Owen takes the win. Third and final heat. Dale Ryan on the left, Justin Beckett on the right.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Great speed by the big man Beckett. Can the 2 veterans get close to Callie Oakley's Aussie record of 11.74? A bit of a bobble from Ryan on the upcut. It looks like Justin Beckett in the lead, and he gets it with 12.10. Let's take a look at the replay. As you can see, Beckett to the wood in front of Ryan, and on the upcut, it's Beckett again the whole way. Justin Beckett takes his 6 points. Owen's cut lands him 5 and De Losa 4. On the Volkswagen Amarok leaderboard, it's De Losa on 15 points, Ryan on 14 and Owen on 12. Who'll soar ahead in the single buck? We'll find out after the break.
STIHL Timbersports, presented by Volkswagen Amarok. Tough comes from within. And STIHL. Better garden power tools.
Welcome back to STIHL Timbersports Australia. Up next, the single buck.
The single buck is a massive 2-metre long man saw. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc from a 46 centimetre log. The perfect mix of rhythm and strength are key to success.
Let's look at how we got our time to beat. You can see Graham Love on the right of the screen doing an excellent cut and sets the time to beat at 28.27. Going into Heat 2, it's Chris Owen and Dale Ryan. Owen looking really fast, but Ryan gets the time to beat at 25.26. We're down to the third and final heat, Delosa v Beckett. Delosa looking focused as he sets his saw in the 46 centimetre pine log, likewise Beckett. Both guys have their own style. Delosa has the better cardio fitness, which is key in this discipline, but Beckett is the bigger man and gets more power into every stroke. Both athletes moving at a rapid rate, but it looks like Justin Beckett's had a hang up there. That's going to cost him time. Brad De Losa now with a clear lead. He snapped his cookie, but he manages to finish it off to get the win.
It's good to get a win in the single, you know. It could have been a little bit smoother. I sort of felt as though the saw was a bit heavy and I sort of struggled getting some speed on the saw all the way, but I was sort of travelling along pretty well, and then the cookie broke off at the bottom, so it really slowed my time down a lot, but I was lucky enough to get away with the win.
Just got to go in and do the best you can in each event, and the points will sort themselves out at the end of the day.
The points did sort themselves out there, with Brad De Losa taking the 6, Beckett 5 and Ryan 4. On the Volkswagen Amarok leaderboard, Brad De Losa is moving ahead of the field on 21 points. Ryan in second on 18, Owen and Beckett tied in third. Underhand next. First, let's find out more about Mr. STIHL Timbersports, Brad De Losa.
Yeah, I've been woodchopping for 22 years, so it's been quite a big part of my life so far. My earliest memory is the first event I ever went to, which was a small hotel in Lithgow called the Donnybrook Hotel. It was the first time I ever competed. My earliest memory of STIHL Timbersports is heading over to the USA in 2003 and competing in the events over there, and I just was handed a bar, a chain and an engine for the hot saw event, and the guys just said put that together, so a little bit of help from a few other guys, and we sorted that out, and that was the start of the Timbersports career for me. Standing block would be my favourite discipline in the STIHL Timbersports, and probably I'd say the hot saw would be my weakest out of the 6 disciplines. I think if I make the final at Bathurst, Lawrence O'Toole will be my toughest opponent to beat out there. He has just been to the USA for about the last 3 months and really worked on a few of the events that he was a little bit weaker at. Jamie Head and Dale Ryan will also, be right there, I think, at the finish. I've won 5 STIHL Timbersports titles throughout my career so far. I won 2011. I won the teams race with Team Australia, which was great. That was the first title in Timbersports that I ever won, and I, sort of remember that very well. I've also won in 2014 the STIHL Timbersports Teams World Championships over in Austria, and I've won the World Championships in Stuttgart in Germany in 2013, which was probably the greatest moment and achievement in my career so far. And then following on from that, I've won 2 Champions Trophies in 2014 and 2015, so they were also quite a physical event and something I'm very proud to bring home.
I'm Brad De Losa from Lithgow, New South Wales. I'm 38 years old, and you're watching STIHL Timbersports Australia.
In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to cut a felled tree down to size. Standing on a horizontal log, the athletes cut with an axe through 32 centimetres of wood. The log has to be worked from both sides. Nerves of steel are needed as the axe impacts just centimetres from the athlete's feet.
We're going to pick up the action in Heat 2. Chris Owen and Justin Beckett chasing down 29.49, set by Graham Love. 2, 1, go. And it's Beckett who gets to the wood first, looking to put a lot of work in this front side. Chris Owen also with some powerful strokes. These guys are cutting really well. This is a great start by both athletes. Who's going to turn first? It's Owen that turns first, but Beckett has put more work in the front side. Beckett really showing his experience here. This is going to be a good time. We'll wait to see the drives really come through. There it is, nearly done. Justin Beckett has got it, 25.92. On the replay, 1 hit, 2 hits, 3, and he's done. Pure power from Beckett. Final heat, Ryan versus De Losa. This is going to be the heat of heats in the underhand chop. 3, 2, 1, go. Good clean start by both these guys. Delosa is making his poplar wood look like balsa wood. Who'll turn first? Powerful strokes by both guys. It's Delosa who turns first. But wait, Ryan's block seems to be slipping out of the cradle. He'll have to keep going, but this is going to affect his time as Brad De Losa looks set to put his drivers in and takes the win, 21-72. Disappointment for Ryan. He should have secured his block better. A tale of two stories in the final heat, but Delosa takes it.
And it spun around the second hit, and it got into the side there, and then it fell down on the deck. No, they cut it on the deck laying like that.
Brad De Losa takes the 6 points again. Beckett secures another 5, and Ryan picks up a handy 4. Let's have a look at the Volkswagen Amarok leaderboard with 1 round to go. De Losa sitting in first place and has qualified for the final. Ryan and Beckett are now battling it out for the second automatic qualification spot as we head into the hot saw. Don't go anywhere because we're about to turn up the heat after the break with the hot sauce.
STIHL Timbersports, presented by Volkswagen Amarok. Tough comes from within. And STIHL. Better garden power tools.
Welcome back to STIHL Timbersports Australia. Disqualifications come in all shapes and sizes. Let's learn a little bit more about the dreaded DQs in Timber Talk with Jackie.
I have with me here Mr. Matthew Rouse, who is one of the judges officiating the competition. Matt, can you tell us a bit about why one cookie here is good and one is bad?
Yeah, absolutely, Jackie. You can see that this one here is a complete round disc. That's what we're looking for. This one, on the other hand, is incomplete, so that would be a DQ.
Is that the only reason that you can get disqualified in the competition?
No, not at all. There's a lot of things that we have to look for up there. The athletes need to ensure they've got all their safety gear on, hands completely on the wood, no jumping the gun. They also need to have 3 complete cookies like this at the end, chain always facing the safety glass, and then turn the saw off at the end.
That is so much to remember, especially when going into a final. Let's wish the boys luck and get back to the stage.
For this discipline, the ultimate power saws are called into action. Hot saws are custom chainsaws powered by full-spec motorbike or jet ski engines. Athletes have a space of only 15 centimetres to cut 3 complete discs from a 46 centimetre log. Jumping the gun or cutting over the line will result in disqualification. Strength and timing are needed to handle these awesome machines.
At the start of the day, every athlete has a choice of running the competition-supplied hot saws or their own custom-built machines, which can come at a risk.
These hot saws are unpredictable, and at the moment, touch wood, it's been running quite good.
My saw is a saw I bought off a guy on the west coast of America. It's a CR 250 motor, which has been straight to a 280.
I'm using a 325 Rotex hot saws. I've had a 300 for a couple of years, but this year I've purchased a new one and I've decided to give that a run today.
Heat 1 of the hot saw. Love and Shadlow are out of the running, but they could still have a say in who makes the final. Good start by both the guys. Actually, no, Love's saw hasn't fired. Shadlow's on his second cut with a nice transition into the third and easily takes the win, 11-77. Heat 2, Chris Owen versus Justin Beckett. Beckett on the right with his custom hot saw, Owen using the STIHL. The Australian record for the hot saw is 8.55 by Jamie Head from Queensland. It looks like Beckett is going to get close. He's on his third cut and just misses it, 8.76. That cut by Beckett certainly puts the pressure on Dale Ryan, who is up next. Ryan needs to go faster than 9.95 to guarantee his spot in the final. Can he do it? Brad De Losa on the left, Dale Ryan on the right. Final heat. Hot saws have never been a strong discipline for the pair. Let's see what they can do. Ryan needs 3 good cookies in 9.95 or less. De Losa can go for broke.
Get set.
First cookie down for De Losa. Second, this could be an Australian record. It is 6.67.
Stand 1, good cut. Stand 2, a DQ.
Let's have a look at the replay. An Australian record on the left and a one-way ticket to DQ City on the right. Brad De Losa's Australian record gets him the 6 points, Justin Beckett 5 and Owen 4. It's Brad De Losa and Justin Beckett off to the Australian final. Ryan and Owen get a second chance in the wildcard round.
always a bit of a worry coming into these events. If you have a little bit of bad luck and DQ in a few events, you know, it can easily slip through your fingers. So, no, I'm very happy to finish the way I did. You know, I had a really good hot saw run, so that's a good confidence booster. And a little bit of tidying up on a few of the other events, you know, before the finals is required. But no, it was good to sort of finish on a strong note like that, you know. And I'm very happy and excited to be going off to Bathurst.
With his New South Wales final win, Brad De Losa shows again why he's the man to beat, owning the day and finding himself off to the Australian final. Also taking the Australian hot saw record with his new saw. Joining him from New South Wales is runner-up Justin Beckett. From the Victorian qualifier, Lawrence O'Toole and Braden Meyer. Flying the flag from Tasmania, Matt Gurr and youngster Cody Steers. The Australian final wouldn't be complete without some Queenslanders. Jamie Head and Mitch Argent do just that. Those sure to set the cat amongst the pigeons in our 10-man showdown is our equally hungry wildcards, as every athlete has a shot at being crowned the inaugural STIHL Timbersports Australian champion. And the top 5 athletes will secure their Australian team representative jersey for the STIHL Timbersports World Championships in Poland. Who will win? Find out next time when axes fly and chainsaws scream in the STIHL Timbersports Australian final at Mount Panorama, Bathurst.